Hello everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf. We are going to do my November TBR, which includes a lot of nonfiction for Nonfiction November. So, Nonfiction November is here, and I, like every year, crave nonfiction right before November hits, and so I'm always excited for this time of the year. I love nonfiction. Now, I'm gonna do something a little different for this Nonfiction November. I have a couple buddy reads happening, so that will definitely be on the TBR, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of a fun random TBR part of this. So let's get into the buddy reads first. So the first buddy read will be with Kate Howe and Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space. And we will be buddy reading Chronic Illness Walking by Faith by Esther Smith. This is a 31 day devotional about chronic illness. Each of us suffer from chronic illness, so we're going to discuss it, I think weekly or daily. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it'll be good to discuss. This is very short. And even just reading the introduction, I think this is gonna be very powerful and very emotional. And I am very excited to read this book and just have insight into chronic illness and how that works with faith and with God and how it can be played out in the Christian walk. So that is something. Now for the prompts, this is gonna, I think, apply to the time prompt, as this is gonna take place over 31 days. It is a 31-day prompt and it is a specific time amount. I'm gonna work that into that prompt at least, and it's exciting. All right, next one is actually another buddy read and another Christian buddy read. So I will be reading The Case for Faith by Lee Strobel with Victoria from A Musical Bookworm. So we both have this on our TBR, we've both read The Case for Christ, and we've been buddy reading a lot this year, and we just kind of were not able to do it in October, but we're excited to do it again in November and discuss The Case for Faith. It has little, at least, I mean, obviously I haven't read this one, but The Case for Christ had chapters where he would attack a certain issue and he would actually discuss what that issue could be approached with, discuss certain people with certain experts. And so he would go to certain experts and see how that issue could be solved with this whole faith problem or with non-believers and how that would work out. So it's exciting to see that happen. Lee Strobel was not a Christian before he wrote or before he started examining and investigating the faith of Christianity, and that's when he came up with basically the material for the book, The Case for Christ, as that was his defense against his atheism or for his atheism, and he discovered that his battle didn't have really any army to fight it for it. Anyways, I'm excited to pick this up. We're gonna go on to the random part of the TBR now. So I have made TBR jars in the past. I've never showed them on my channel. This is something where I made one like almost 3 years ago in 2017 Christmas. I made a TBR jar of every book I owned. And then maybe a month ago, I went through all of those books, tickets, papers that I had and rewrote the ones I still owned along with the ones that I had currently and the ones that I've acquired since then. So these are the ones that I have had since before 2018. Now these are the ones that are all nonfiction. I pulled out all the ones that are nonfiction, and we're gonna just do a random draw for nonfiction. I might not read them all, but we're gonna pick out some. I have some that I would really like to get to for the certain prompts. We're only gonna pick out, I think, 2, because I do have a couple that I really do wanna read on top of it all. So we're gonna do a couple random and a couple not, and I'm not looking, so we're gonna go for this one. Also, the writing is color coded, so I know which year I got it. Oh. And this one is a more recent pickup that I had, so my writing is also not great. Manderley Forever by Tatiana de Rosnay. It is, where is it? Right here. This is a biography of Daphne du Maurier, It is not actually a long one, and this is by the author of Sarah's Key, which I did really enjoy, and I have other books by her, but I've never read or finished other books by her. So her other books are in my jar as well. So this will be on my nonfiction TBR. Maybe we can fit it into, let me think about it. I think I'm gonna put this into Discovery because of discovering the life of Daphne du Maurier. I don't know anything about her life, and I think that'll be interesting. So yeah, I think I'll put this into a Discovery. So I don't know what I would have gotten to this one, to be honest. So I'm glad I'm picking it out of a jar. We're gonna pick out the second book for this and we'll see what comes up. All right, next one will not cover my face and I'm not looking. So let's see. The purple ones are the oldest books that I've owned, and I think I got one here, and that is a purple one that I don't want to read. I want to read it eventually. It's very sad. It's Unbroken by Laura Hildenbrand. I don't want to read Unbroken. I'm gonna go get it. This book is the scariest book on my shelf. And I know I've said Lemez is the scariest book on my shelf. No, this one is. Because it's nonfiction about World War II and about prisoner of war camps that are torturing. And my cousin Megan, I'll link her down below, says this book is heart-wrenching and I don't want to read it. She says it's amazing. Okay, Megan, I'm reading it. So, from what I understand, this book is about an Olympian who joins World War II. His plane gets shot down. A lot of crazy stuff happens. And then he has to survive in a prisoner of war camp in the Japanese, with the Japanese. And it's rough. Like, all right. I'm gonna try. I'm not promising I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try. Oh, and maybe I'll put this under Buzz because I've heard only good things about this, but really hard things about this. Yeah, we're gonna put it under Buzz. Okay, we're gonna go for another book. I kind of want to pick another one because I don't think I'm gonna finish it, but I can't set myself up for failure. But I also know that I will probably read more nonfiction, but I also know I want to read other fiction. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna, we'll pick one more. We'll pick one more. Because this is fun, aside from the fact I just picked up the worst. Probably the best pick that I could have picked, but I think I'll be doing this a lot next year, just so I can get through these older books on my shelf. But I'm not gonna be happy about it. All right, I picked up two there. I don't know what either of them were, but I'm just gonna go back in. I haven't folded any of these, and I don't know if I will. They're just easier to read. Okay, let's go for this one. Oh, never mind. We're not doing a third one. That one is a giant one, and I do not have that much energy in me to read that one too. No, we're not reading Napoleon Bonaparte. Not happening. I'll show you it just for prosperity's sake. That would be this one that is bigger than my face. No. It not only is like 800 pages, but it's Napoleon Bonaparte. So that would take me a while to read. Now, we're gonna move on to the books I want to read for Nonfiction November that I'm not picking out of a jar. I have this random loop here. All right, we're gonna go on to a fun one. At least I hope it's fun. It's called For the Fun of It, and this one is by Amelia Earhart. I did not know she wrote a biography or a memoir, but I'm really excited. I found this one, and it's really short. It's like 175 pages, And I think it just documents her crossing the Atlantic. I am super excited to read this. I had no idea she wrote a book, and now I just want to read it. I'm like, give it to me. So I just literally picked it up like a week ago, and I saw it and I was like, Nonfiction November, here we go. And so I'm doing this one for discovery and for movement, for her flying across the oceans and discovery of this amazing woman's journey, probably her last public widespread notice. I'm very excited to pick this up as well and discover Amelia Earhart's story from her own words. So I say I'm not going to be doing many books. And that's kind of a blatant lie every single time I say that in a TBR, because I say that and then I look at my stack and I'm like, actually I want to add this one. And this is one of those books where I have nonstop wanted to be wanting to read this since I finished listening to its lecturer or its author's lectures. This is The Murder of Tutankhamun by Bob Brier. Now I listened to his Bob Brier's lectures with Great World, I believe, through Audible, and loved it. It just expressed all about ancient Egypt, and he covered from like the beginning of ancient Egypt all the way through to the end of Cleopatra's reign, and it was incredible. And I have been wanting to read this ever since. He talked a little bit about why he thinks Tutankhamun was murdered, and he says he's in the minority. But I want to read this book, and I have been dying to read it since I finished his lectures. And this is like not long either. It's like 250 pages. I just want to know what could potentially be the case for this situation. And I'm excited to pick this up. So I'm just going to be using Nonfiction November as an excuse to be reading this one because I'm excited, so excited to be reading about Tutankhamun and ancient Egypt. I'm on ancient Egypt buzz, and I'm excited to get back into it. So the last book that will be, I guess, for Nonfiction November prompts, as well as on my fictional Nonfiction November TBR. I will probably read other nonfiction, or I'll try to throughout the month as well. But my last one will be for the prompt buzz. Now this is The Five by Hallie Rubenhold. Now this one is the untold lives of the women Jack the Ripper, or the woman killed by Jack the Ripper. Now this one had a mass amount of buzz last year. Everyone was talking about it and raving about it and loving it. And Olive, who is hosting Nonfiction November, I don't think I said that, I'll link her down below. She loves this one too, if I remember correctly. So I'm excited to pick this one up. I love true crime, and I love that this one will be highlighting the victims and not the killer himself. If I understand correctly, this is actually focusing on the women and what their lives were like, and not about Jack the Ripper and how he killed them. So I'm excited to pick this one up, and I cannot wait to read this. I think I bought it like December last year, and I was like, I'll save it for Nonfiction November. So I better read it for Nonfiction November. All right, I have a few not nonfictions to talk about, and then we're done. So the first of which will be my Agatha Christie book of the month, and that one will be Murder in 3 Acts, and this is a Hercule Poirot mystery. I'm not sure which number it is, and I don't need to know. I just picked this one out randomly. This one I will quickly read the back, and I'll let you know what it's about. Actually, let me just read the back to you. It says, the Reverend Stephen Babington seldom maybe I shouldn't. Seldom imbibed. What is this word? I don't know. But for the glittering soiree given by the renowned actor Sir Charles Cartwright, he indulged in a cocktail and fell over dead. Since there was no trace of poison and no motive for murder, the case was closed. Then an identical death at a London party with the same guest list presents Hercule Poirot with his most unusual mystery. In need of both clues and suspects, the masterful detective stages a dinner party of his own, at which death is the guest of honor. So that sounds interesting. I have been looking at this one for a little while on my shelves. I'm wondering what could be Murder in 3 Acts. I also think this is called The 3-Act Tragedy, which is also another interesting title to me. So yeah, gonna be picking up this one this month, and then I have another buddy read. So I have been buddy reading with Berna for about 4 months, and we did not want to stop buddy reading now that we were done Sherlock Holmes. So we decided to pick up a new book together, and we'll be reading The Bat by Jo Nesbø. It is short, and I have read The Snowman by Jo Nesbø, and that is like book whatever, 18 or something in the Harry Hole series, and this is book 1 in the Harry Hole series. So I'm excited to pick up book 1 and see the beginning of that series. I really enjoyed The Snowman. It was gritty, it was dark, and it was like a car crash I couldn't turn away from. I could not stop reading it, and I could not take my eyes off of that book, even though it was like cringing at some times. So I'm excited to pick up this first one. Like a trend this month, I've been picking up short books. This one is like under 400 pages. It looks shorter than it is, but I will be excited to read this with Berna, and we can discuss our theories as we read it together. Also, maybe we'll read the rest of the series together too. Who knows? But that will be my last official November TBR book, I think. Yeah, I think. I'm gonna read some more, I'm positive, but that is officially the end of my TBR for November, and we will see how far I do. I guess I'm just going to have to face the beast that is Unbroken. Let me know if anyone wants to buddy read that down in the comments or on Instagram. Let me know. DM me. I would love to pick that one up for sure. Eventually, I've been holding on to it for a very long time, so I would love to have a reading partner to make sure I actually pick it up in November. Let me know if you'd like to do that. Also, please leave a comment down below if you would like to about your reading plans for November, what your agenda is if you're going to be doing Nonfiction November. I also heard about Believe-a-thon that's happening for children's books. I don't know what else is happening this November, but I am aware it is almost the end of the year, so mildly freaking out here, but that's okay. Please also subscribe if you would like to and you are new here, and give this video a big thumbs up if I could speak. If you like this video, I will talk to you next time with another video. Bye for now.